This is something that the church has spent years looking for the appropriate piece of property. We are investing a significant amount of money and time into looking at the property, making sure it works, and making sure it works for our students, but also making sure it works from a community perspective.
But we've been looking quite seriously at a high school opportunity since about 2005 or so. It was part of our original dream even when the school started in '98.
The property has been used as the Shirley Blumenthal Park by the Atlanta Jewish Community Center since 1986. If you drive by that property, you would be hard-pressed to notice that there's anything there.
I drove by it twice while I was looking for it and couldn't find it.
This property is zoned R20, and the land use is public institution. So it's already zoned, but they have to go through zoning to get a special land use permit for a high school.
But there could be roughly 60 homes built. That would be without a public hearing or without a special hearing. It's a public institutional use now. A lot of the quote-unquote heavy lifting has happened simply because the grading's occurred, the utilities are in place, the parking's down, the asphalt's down, lights are in position in certain places. There have actually been structures built. So staff has kind of advised the commissioners all along that although it would certainly be something that could be developed residentially, we've kind of pushed the board to go to more of a public or institutional kind of use.
Our goal really is to honor what is there and what was approved in 1986 and beyond, and to really maintain the existing buffers. It's a wooded site. You're going to drive by there, even with all these improvements, and hopefully not know we're there.
When you think high school, you have to reframe what you're thinking.
Do not think Sprayberry or Lassiter. We're not talking about 1,000+ kids per class. We're talking about starting with 40 kids.
This phase 1 enrollment growth is 40 to 45 children per grade level for 4 grades. So it'll take you 4 years to get to close to 200 kids. We would stay at that level until we're ready to spend the money on a phase 2 building and build some more academic structures. And that would allow us to get to our terminal enrollment, phase 2 enrollment, which is between 90 and 110 students at grade level, 450.
I think their numbers and anticipated usage are only consistent with what ours have been, but they're years away from their peak.
So the phase 1 plan would be really to use the existing buildings. We're proposing about a 4,000 square foot addition to the existing classroom building and about a 2,000 square foot addition to the existing gym. The other improvements on phase 1 are a little new parking lot and also a new playing field. We won't have seating, and it won't be lighted. The other fields, tennis courts are remaining the same, baseball field remaining the same. The baseball field is currently lighted. It will remain lighted. I can't say that we wouldn't have a band and that they wouldn't practice during the day. So we would anticipate starting time around 8 and ending time around 3. Of course, after-school activities and things like that would go on.
Our hours were actually much longer than the high school hours. We opened our doors at 7 o'clock and we operated by license a full-day preschool with after hours, and so a number of our kids were not picked up until 6 in the evening when parents got off work.
Any area in Cadranel or Metro Atlanta, traffic, we are cognizant of that. Our goal is to ensure that our students, our teachers, and our traffic does not impact Post Oak Trick Road. Assume worst case of 625 students. That's way more than Jim thinks would ever be his ideal. That's way more than we think will be there in a decade. What does that traffic look like? It will not degrade the level of service on Post Oak Trick Road. Meaning, it doesn't require a traffic signal. Our goal is to get our parents and students off Post Oak Trick as quickly as possible. The phase 1 plan allows for 50 cars to be sitting in the carpool lane. We could fit another approximately 40 cars, which is more than, roughly 90 cars parked on site to drop off at any time. We also plan for bi-directional shuttle service, right? So if I'm a parent and I have a child who is both in middle school and in high school, I can drop off at one location, the shuttle will take my other child to the other location.
this would be a little bit easier traffic-wise than it would be to have 60-something houses all kind of trying to leave at the same time. Kids to school.
60 residential houses, they don't take buses.
No, but actually, to tell you the truth, sometimes traffic-wise, it would be almost better if folks would get on a bus and then come out of the subdivision. That's just my opinion, but.
During our peak, we had approximately 225 preschool children in our existing facility. During our summer months, 225 would swell to 425. And I can tell you that, unfortunately, we couldn't afford bus service. So 425 campers probably equated to something close to 300 mothers or fathers driving into the property every morning and leaving every morning, coming back every afternoon, and then back out every afternoon.
But the only thing I've heard so far is a lot more congestion, a lot more noise, no taxes, and everything else that goes on in high school in the neighborhood.
Well, respectfully, I would disagree with you.
They are, like we, very committed to the quality of our community, like we, committed to serving families and likewise educating children.
The JCC operated for a long time as a good community center and a good community member, and that's what Mount Bethel would like to continue doing.